Coming up on today's show, Don Orsillo getting criticized for being different, plus should the sports media talk less sports? WEI.com's Alex Reamer had a column today on the website analyzing whether or not sports talk radio hosts should talk less sports during their shows. His position is that yes, they should talk less sports. They should talk about what they're passionate about. Okay, I agree with that to an extent. First off, you want to be entertaining. So if the non-sports stuff you're talking about is entertaining, okay, fine, check. But let me tell you one thing that's very important. If you're a sports station, the foundation of what you talk about has to be sports. It's fine to go off on other things, bring up other things you're passionate about, bring up other topics people are talking about, but the foundation has to be sports if you're at a sports station. Because if it isn't, when the sports news hits, when Tom Brady gets cut, when the Patriots have a huge AFC Championship game matchup, when there's a big sports story, your bread and butter, and you're not seen as somebody that wants to talk about sports or talks about sports well, that's a problem. So I'm all for venturing away from sports a little bit. Reamer said in his column, quote, "Talk show hosts are people too. There's nothing wrong with acting like them," close quote. And I don't disagree with that. And the same can be said for players and coaches, human beings. Go listen to my questions to Bill Belichick over the years.
Bill, there's a lot going on in and around the office today. I'm just wondering, in your life, have you ever gone wild at a Springsteen concert?
Seen a few wild Springsteen concerts, yeah.
I also think X's and O's talk is boring, but sports still has to be the foundation. And there's one more thing. What trumps all is the talent of the person talking. Let's say you and I go to the store. We go to Stop and Shop together. Well, when we get back, we can both tell the story about what happened on our trip to Stop and Shop. Guess what? One of us is going to tell that story better than the other. It's the same thing when you go on the radio or when you go on a talk show or an opinion show. You need to give people a reason to watch. If you're not good at executing an opinion or if you're not entertaining to listen to, it doesn't matter. So that brings us to this story where former Red Sox play-by-play announcer Don Orsillo is getting criticized a bit by the San Diego Union Tribune newspaper for being a little too quirky and different. All that is a few newspaper people being resistant to change. And I get it. Change is happening all across the industry. Hasn't really benefited the newspapers. But how many people are really riveted by Padres games? They've sucked for years. Even a television show centered around the Padres got canceled. Don Orsillo is injecting some of his own personality into the broadcast. I love it. It's different. It's something people aren't used to seeing. So what happens? He does it. It creates buzz. Now more people tune in. What's this guy doing? What's Orsillo gonna say? That's a good thing. Don't be so afraid of different. You know what happened to baseball cards? You know why they're not worth nearly as much money? Because in the 80s and 90s, the market got oversaturated with them. I think that's happened a bit with the media today. Too many ways to get the information. Too many people doing the same thing. So then what happens? When you get somebody that's trying something different, he gets criticized. No. That's what you need to do. The people that criticize different are either afraid of it or don't have enough creativity or guts themselves to execute something different. According to the Boston Globe's Adam Himmelsbach, restricted free agent guard Marcus Smart is reportedly looking for less money than originally thought. That to me is Smart and his agent sort of realizing the party that's going on in Boston is pretty good, and you know what? Hey, we want to be a part of that. That's them saying, you know what? Yeah, we're not looking for quite as much money as we initially said, because that way when they get an offer from a team, Danny Ainge and the Celtics will be ready and able to match it. He wants to play in Boston. He knows it's his best fit. He knows it's his best chance to win. He still wants to get paid, but he knows where the good party is going to be. All right, take your pick. What's more annoying? When your kid makes a huge mess that you need to clean up, or when they continuously try to interrupt a conversation you're trying to have with your spouse or another adult? I'm going when they try to interrupt your conversations. That's maddening. Usually when that happens, I'm trying to say something important, trying to listen to something important. They feed off that, they feel that, and they just want to be a part of it. Daddy. 1 second, baby. 1 second. It's kind of how it goes. It's annoying when you have to clean up a mess, obviously, but kids do that, that kind of happens. You absolutely don't want your kid to be seen as rude. That bothers me way more. All right, my lock of the day, the Red Sox. I'm going back on the Red Sox train tonight. -1.5 favorites over the Rangers at Fenway. Taking the Red Sox. Rangers suck. Red Sox are rolling through the American League this year. I'll take the Red Sox tonight. They win this game by more than a run. That's my lock of the day. Special throwback episode tomorrow. Haven't done anything like this. We'll see you then.
Well, as you know, I'm not on Snapface and all that, so I don't really get those.